away from cancer last year?
Oh, yes. Sabyasachi, yeah. Yes, he's traveling around quite a bit with his business.
Hare Krishna, Canada, we're all gathered waiting for you and Nog.
Okay, the three daughters are, they have adjusted. It's still not easy. I think
Okay,
it's
cool.
good if he gets
Okay,
settled
cool.
down.
I was, I told them you were coming and so they were waiting a couple of minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know when we should get started with our mini little Sangskar here. No fire. No fire here. I just want to tell you the room I'm in is where Prabhupada stayed in 1976.
Wow, very
This is where he met people. I think I can sort of direct you to it. There's an arched window, right? Because we're in an old church and we secured that building. Next to this room is where Prabhupada stayed in a bedroom, washroom, and on the other side, I'm pointing this way, out the other way. Hari Sori stayed there, his assistant. And it was in this room where Prabhupada, they had a discussion about Vaishnavi Diksha gurus, female gurus, that is. And Professor Joseph T. O'Connell asked the question, Swamiji, are there any female gurus in our tradition, in our movement? And Prabhupada said yes. He cited the example of Devahuti-devi, the wife of Nityananda. And he said few, there's some, but few. But this is where it all started, the dialogue back in 76. And this has been quoted quite a few times now when we analyze that particular subject matter. So this is the famous room.
wonderful.
Yeah, and this is a bust of Srila Prabhupada that's right next to me. Can you see it okay?
Yes, wonderful.
Yeah, and I've got the japa beads that I'm going to turn over to you around his neck right now. I thought it was the easiest spot to put it on. And we've also got on the other side here, the bed where Prabhupada slept. Can you see that? It's a platform with the Das avatar, 10 avatars made of brass. Do you see the platform?
Yes, Maharaj.
He slept on that bed, and I found it some years after Prabhupada left. That's the bed. They were washing the pots in the kitchen. And well, to dry them off, they turned them upside down onto this platform and said, hey, that's Prabhupada's bed. We got to get that out of there and put it back in the right place. Yeah, so there's also a table that he ate off of. It's a circular table, what you call a coffee table. I guess we call it a decaffeinated coffee table. Yeah, so it's kind of a special room, and the sun, the southerly sun comes in through the window here. It's very nice, beautiful, quiet street. So thank you. I guess we should get started because I just came back from India on Tuesday, and I'm leaving for South Africa on Saturday morning. They have a big Rath Yatra there every year. And of course, we provide the entertainment. And, I work with the young people there. We brought a whole slew of young artists from South Africa to perform at the Mayapur Festival at the Samadhi Auditorium. And we played that. I think you're there, Nagaraj, right? And Pranada. You probably remember the old version of what the Vaikunta players did from New York, The Age of Kali. So they presented that in Mayapur 76, and they also went to LA for that big Rath Yatra in 77, I believe it was. Yeah. Prabhupada loved the play, so I decided he liked it. We're going to do it. So we did, and I can't tell you how the response from the people that came each night was just astounding. And we did also a private showing for Ambarish. just, in Mayapur, in a quiet space, no one else, and Braj Vilas. And I'm just so proud of how the performance went. And I think it's the best thing we've ever done. We've raised the bar performance wise, and people are very moved.
Show it, Maharaj.
Yeah,
It was videoed.
it was videoed. We had 4 camera angles on it. It's being edited right now. We also had a couple that's doing a documentary on the anatomy of a drama, the Age of Kali. So we'll have that available. Yes.
Nice.
Good. So thank you very much. I think we've got everybody here that's supposed to be here, if I'm not mistaken. And Srila Prabhupada is definitely here. And I'm hoping that some of the other great souls like Narada Muni and other great Vaishnavas are with us as well. All right, so let's just start up. We were going to make this kind of simple, and I'm glad that some of your friends are on board. Debra, I think it's great that it's worked out this way, and that we're doing a good Zoom. No gloom on this one. No gloom on this Zoom. All right, so we'll just start with our Mangala Charana prayers. If you all would like to recite together, that is not always the easiest over Zoom, but let's try it out and to invoke auspiciousness. All right, for this very special day, which is the first day of spring. Yay! All right. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militan Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitang Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadhanayang Dadati Swapadandikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitandam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Akanta Radha Kanta Namoste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanan Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai. Thank you very much for listening. I usually like to choose a little section of the Bhagavad Gita from which to read. I think we all get empowered when we hear both something from Krishna and from Prabhupada in the form of a purport or some portion of a purport. So I just chose to look at chapter 7 and it's text 5. If you've got a Bhagavad Gita, you might want to look at it. It's entirely up to you. And here's the Sanskrit. Apariyam atishtwanyang prakritim vidime param jiva bhutang mahabhaho ya idam dharyate jagat. Besides these, Krishna's talking about the 8 separated energies. Almighty Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mine, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. And here's the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here it is clearly mentioned that living entities belong to the superior nature or energy of the Supreme Lord. The inferior energy is matter, manifested in different elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, both forms of material nature, namely gross, earth, etc., and subtle, mind, etc., are products of the inferior energy. The living entities who are exploiting these inferior energies for different purposes are the superior energy of the Supreme Lord. And it is due to this energy that the entire material world functions. The cosmic manifestation has no power to act unless it is moved by the superior energy, the living entity. Energies are always controlled by the energetic, and therefore the living entities are always controlled by the Lord. They have no independent existence. They are never equally powerful, as unintelligent men think. The distinction between the living entities and the Lord is described in the Bhagavatam, and it quotes a verse from Canto 10. And I'll just read that and we'll stop there. O Supreme Eternal, if the embodied living entities were eternal and all-pervading like you, then they would not be under your control. But if the living entities are accepted as minute energies of your lordship, then they are at once subject to your supreme control. Therefore, real liberation entails surrender by the living entities to your control, and that surrender will make them happy. In that conditional position only can they be controllers. Therefore, people with limited knowledge who advocate the monistic theory that God and the living entities are equal in all respects are actually guided by a faulty and polluted opinion. Hare Krishna. That goes on. Thank you very much for listening. So there's a few nice points to bring up here from this purport and verse. And isn't it good to know that each of any one of us, we belong to a superior energy. That might make us proud, but the fact of the matter is that we get, while we are part of superior power, we are robed or clothed in the inferior energy, and we get so caught up in these externals that we forget our position as being a servant of Krishna. So now when we go through the process of diksha or initiation, we're making a confirmation that I'm surrendering. I'm surrendering to you, Krishna. I'm surrendering to you, Prabhupada. I'm surrendering to the disciplic succession. And I may not have long to live. When I look at all the people in our frames, we're not going to be around too much longer. So what we have is real life. That's what we can look forward to. Real life is found in service, particularly devotional service, spiritual service. And that's a cause for happiness. That's a cause for joy. And, again, when I look at everybody in the frames, we're all part of a spiritual family. We've got each other just to remind ourselves of who we are and what we're supposed to be doing with ourselves. And I think that's the greatest gift that Prabhupada has given to us. He's given us a society. He's given us a way for us to kind of like look at each other, deal with each other, get to know each other, like each other, and do things together. That's what it's supposed to be like in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual world. Everyone's working together, serving the same cause. And the cause is Krishna, of course. The Sarva Karana Karanam, the cause of all causes. And it's supposed to be a happy state. Nothing is supposed to change there. We're not likely to come back to this world again. Krishna indicates that in various places in the Gita. So that's a consolation. That's really nice to know. That we can just continue to.
Maharaj, you're muted.
Yeah, someone was trying to call me and they probably will do it again though. So we get to play together. And one of the reasons why I like to do dramas is because it's all about playing, having a good time and reliving pastimes and playing and also playing a little bit with the philosophy and bringing it out in a palatable way. So people will come out of the theater a little bit more, let's say, uplifted than they are now. So we're living in the age of not upliftment, but it's a dark time, Kali Yuga, but we won't dwell on that too long. I like to be an optimist. Prabhupada always was an optimist despite everything. And one thing I have to say, people ask me, how do you like India? I said, well, I don't like the dirt and I don't like the noise and I don't like the trash. But I do like it's a land of optimists. People are very optimistic, they smile in the midst of chaos. I don't know how they do it. But every year I get a chance to charge my battery and go there and experience that optimism that Prabhupada so much gave to us. I've expressed this before. There's only two ways to be in life, and that's to be upbeat or beat up. And Prabhupada was always upbeat, regardless of the things that came to him, and not always such a nice way. He just tolerated a lot. So, anyways, I would like to say, anytime I do a diksha for someone, I say the most important thing is that we embrace Prabhupada as our primary guru. We see him as our guiding light because he's our founder acharya. And, we have to take note of that he's always there for us. And as you have experienced yourself, Debra, Lynn, you know that a lot of devotees there, or I'm assuming, have been there for you, through the years and given some guidance and, let's say, advice that helps you get through the next few days or hours. And so that's the great gift that Prabhupada has given us each other. And so at initiations, Prabhupada asked us to look at 10 offenses and against chanting, and the first one being a kind of a critical one. And he was strongly advising that we don't get nasty about others. We don't vilify or we don't point out the negativity in people. We point out what's positive in the individual. And so that's one thing. And ISKCON is a house that Prabhupada built for us where we can all feel some kind of safety, some kind of comfort. And he's given us his books. They're there for us to take shelter of. I don't know about any of that's up there in the framework here in our Zoom call, but sometimes you'll hit a little bit of a roadblock. And then you say, oh, I'm not sure where to go. I'm not sure what to think. I hit a difficult spot here during the course of the day. So let me open up at random, some page of the Gita or something like that. And then the answer just seems to just pop out at you. Your eyes land right on the sentence that you're meant to read. Have you ever had that experience before?
Yes.
Anybody? Yeah.
Yes.
You can call it magical. You can certainly call it mystical. And Krishna is the supreme mystic. So he helps us. It's proof that he guides us. He's taking us from one level to the next. So we were encouraged to chant 16 rounds every day and to follow 4 regulative principles. And I guess I'm not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to ask the candidate, can you recite to me these? I guess we're at that stage. We can actually do that right now. And so Deborah, I'm just going to put my Bhagavad Gita down. Can you tell us what are the regular principles that you will agree to follow?
Well, I hope I can. It would be no
If you're
illicit,
stuck, we'll help you. We'll help
no
you.
illicit sex.
Yes,
Can you hear me, Maharaj?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, so no illicit sex. It would be no drinking. It would be, see, no meat eating.
Mhm. And the last one has something to do with maybe the Mahabharat, when everyone got together and they went crazy. Does that give a good hint?
No, I know the Mahabharat, so I'm not really getting that.
Okay. The last one is what Yudhishthir didn't want to do, but he got caught in it. And Shakuni, who was a master at the game, cheated Yudhishthir and the Pandavas of their land and their wealth. So gambling is the other one.
Okay, got it.
No gambling. That's great. Well, thank you. And then how many rounds will we chant every day from here on?
A minimum of 16.
Okay, beautiful, fantastic. Thank you very much. And I'm sure it's very nice chanting japa there. You're quite close to the coast, aren't you?
I'm right on it.
You're on the water. Oh my God, just have to watch the alligators, right? That's the only thing to be worried about. Okay, I'm just taking the japa beads that I received just 40 minutes ago. They landed at our reception desk.
From Vaishnavi.
Yeah, thank you, Vaishnavi, for making that arrangement. So these beads I'll hand over to you. I'm sure we'll make some arrangement to get them back to you as soon as possible, but can you touch them perhaps? You can put your finger out there on one of the beads.
Little higher, Maharaj.
A little higher?
Or
Okay.
not, little lower.
A little lower?
Put it across your heart, Maharaj. Across your heart. Yeah, there you go.
Is that
Yeah,
it? Okay.
now
Yeah,
we can
I've got
see.
it. I've got it.
Okay, great. So we're just going to offer these beads to you. I also have some kunti mala, which is for the neck, and we'll get
Yes.
them back to you as well. So I was just thinking about your name starts with a D, and one of the great saints from the Bhagavatam that we hear about. She was a famous mother and she had a famous son, and I gave her a lot of lessons on Sankhya philosophy, which always turns into bhakti philosophy of surrender and love. So it's Devahuti, Mother Deva, Devahuti-devi, dasi. Hare Krishna. Very
Jai.
nice. And we'll write it down for you. Maybe somebody there can write down the spelling. I think you probably got it down. Yeah, I thought it was a nice name. All the Devahutis that I know in the movement are really special people.
Oh,
Oh, wonderful.
Devahuti. So are you okay with that?
Did I hear you say Devaki?
No, Devahuti. That's
Oh, Devahuti.
D-E-V-A Huti, H-U-T-I, Devahuti.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Jai, Devahuti-devi dasi, Jai.
Haribo Devahuti, Hari Hari.
I wish I
Hare
was there.
Krishna.
I wish I was there with you all personally, but that's not going to
Jesus.
happen. And I guess that's it for now. I mean, there's an opportunity for a little fire ceremony. We can throw that in somewhere later on. But for now, this is what we offer to you. Thank you so much. I chanted on it as soon as I got here because the call was be on in 10 minutes.
So sweet.
It
Jai
all
Maharaj.
happened in a nice synchronistic way. Yes, good. So I guess that's all I have to offer now. Please don't hesitate to contact me. You've got your friends to help me. I don't mind phone calls. I don't mind doing Zoom. I get this easiest, and then whenever we come down to Florida, I do stop over at different locations in Florida, like I just did when I was there. And what's the name of that town? Sarasota or something with the Ringley brothers out there.
Your other disciple is there.
Yes.
Shashvata.
Joshua,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And of course, Miami. I go to Miami. Difficult spot, but we still managed to get there. So that's what I have to offer right now. And other devotees, you know, your friends there can fill you in on anything else. Devahuti-devi, dasi. Thank you very much. And I have I do a daily journal. I like journaling at the end of the day or the next morning. I just jot down, handwrite, what I happened on the Hilroy notebook, one page of what happened the previous day. So I've got something nice to write about for before the day's over. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining
Hare
the team,
Krishna.
the dream team, the Bhakti team, the team of devotees.
Oh, that just maybe.
Maharaj, I would like to thank Vaishnavi Devi Dasi for
Yeah, she was great.
being the gear that turned the wheel in this event, and for Pashupati, who made the suggestion after all these years. Pashu, thank you. You've been a good friend, and Mukhya for always being there, and for Pranada and Nagaraj, who embraced me from the very beginning. Thank you all for being here and being a part of this. It's been a long time. I'm glad you're here.
Hi.
Haribo.
Jai, Jai,
Oh,
Jai,
oh.
Jai. I don't know. Sorry, Maharaj, probably something happened with
Yeah.
his connection, but perfect timing, I guess. At least it's. Oh,
Yeah.
thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Oh, Maharaj is back.
Oh.
Maharaj is back. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So Devahuti, if you have any questions now or later, just please let me know. I'm
I
just
do.
gonna be.
I
Oh,
do, if
do you?
there's time for one.
Yes, please.
Please tell me a little bit about Devahuti.
Well, one easy way to put it is she's the mother of God.
Uh-oh, Maharaj disconnect.
Program policy.
Yes.
You have
Person,
200.
because she was a good listener.
Yes.
She excelled in the area of Shravanam, listening. And she championed that because Kapila Dev is a very important figure in our culture. He spoke Sankhya philosophy, which we find in the Bhagavad Gita. And I think that she was like a yogini, and maybe we can ask the devotees here. Does anybody remember? Trick question.
Nagaraj Prabhu could answer that
He
Okay.
if he's still here.
No, he's not
Maybe.
here.
Okay, it was Kardama Muni. So they were just an exceptional couple. And he's quite a mystic. And I think the most important thing about her, what we can learn from her, is to engage in Shravanam as much as possible. Hearing that which is worth hearing. So spent hours and hours and days listening to her son. Usually sons are supposed to listen to their mothers, but he was such an evolved person. He could tell her about the galaxies. He could tell her about the nature of the world. He could tell her about the time factor, all the things that are kind of technical that you might find in the pages of the Bhagavatam. And he also talked to her about the the different ways in which you can do devotion, the devotional service that's executed in the three modes of nature, either in goodness, passion, or in ignorance. And so she really excelled because of getting the best from the best. But I would suggest that whenever you get a chance, you read a little bit about Devahuti and her son Kapila in the Bhagavatam. Good. Thank you for being on board. Soon. A pleasure to be part of this little celebration ceremony on this spring day, first of spring days, and I wish best to Devahuti and in the days to come that you will you'll feel your life is more and more enriched by taking this extra step forward.
May I ask you a question, Maharaj?
Sure.
Okay. What prompted you to bless me with the name Devahuti?
I was just thinking about what Prabhupada used to do to give names. He oftentimes would take your Judeo or Christian name, and it started with a J or a D or whatever, B, S, whatever, and he would try to match that up to a Sanskrit name by some famous, saint, Vedic saint. And he did that with most devotees. You might ask some of the others, Pajapati or any of the others, how he did it. What was their name before? I don't know, because he joined before I did. Pajapati, what was your name before you became
Patricia.
Pajapati?
Patricia. Patricia. I don't know if he's got
Were you able to? There you go. There you go.
It was Patricia.
Probably it was a nice Patricia, probably a nice Catholic name, I bet you.
Yes, it was. And it was interesting because, yeah, I love Lord Shiva too.
Oh, nice, nice. Beautiful. So I was compelled to choose that name because your name started with a D. And when I thought about some of the names of saintly women in our tradition that started with a D, it just Devahuti popped up, right? Just like that.
Thank you,
And
Maharaj.
that's why we chose the name. I thought it was a beautiful name. So, yeah. All right.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Bye, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mukhya, Pashu,
Haribo.
Bye, Hare Krishna. You can read the Bhagavad.
Vaishnavi, everybody, Maharaj.
We're going.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vaishnavi, Maharaj.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
And I just need to know how to get these beads back to you.
Okay, I will send her a